They distant. You know he wants some of that chocolate. You know he wants some of that chocolate. You know he wants some of that.
Hey!
Get on the floor and shake that ass.
I know you're not a one in a million kind of girl, but you're my one in a lifetime kind of woman. That was good, huh? I wrote that. Amen.
To me, a baby, you're set for life. Marriages come and go.
Yeah.
No offense, guys.
Yeah. No.
Somebody that has kids already and they are putting up this negative about like having kids, having children, getting married.
Never take offense from a broke man's mouth. If a broke man is saying something, I mean, no one should take offense to it. They're in survival. They're saying whatever they gotta say to have a chance at survival.
You're afraid to court me or take me out on a $300 date because you feel like that's gonna make you seem like you're tap dancing for me, then just leave me alone. Because I can honestly take myself out on a $300 date. I don't need you to do it. We're both doing it to see if there's something there. Like if it's an actual connection. If you can't even put up the money or the time or the effort to make it like a real date, then just leave me alone.
The first time you're meeting, you're trying to see if you have a connection and you want them to spend over $300. Like you said, you're all looking for a connection, and if there's no connection...
If y'all hit the lottery, y'all giving y'all girlfriends half?
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
Because you are a woman and you know for sure that the kid you're having is your kid because you carry them. But for a man, how would they know? So you are speaking as a woman and not as a man. Because men want to know before they can be committed to take care of those children. If he's going to be paying child support, he has to know. It's as simple as that. I know maybe it's insulting to a very extent because somebody's basically saying you are seeing other people. But which is the thing is happening. You are sleeping with other people.
Have y'all seen them videos where a woman is like crying and she's really sad and then it'll flip to where now she's happy because she's getting married or because she has a new boyfriend? I'm just curious, are there any women who actually loved their life before they met their partner, or is everybody just sad and miserable until they meet a man? I just want to know.
And not only do I not care if you think I'm a bitch, I hugely prefer it.
I keep seeing women comment on my post saying, yes, this is exactly why I'm single. Men don't know how to communicate at a high level. And that's just crazy to me. And it's also very disrespectful to God to think that he put something like a man on this earth and didn't give him the capacity to communicate at a high level. Are you serious? No. The problem is we as women aren't honest with ourselves enough to admit that we don't communicate at a high level, because if we did, we would stop dating men that we know are no good for us, that mean us no well, that do not really care about us, that have sex with us and then go do whatever they want, and then we end up heartbroken. That's not us communicating at a high level. We don't select great men but then we expect them to communicate at a high level. No. You're single because you need to be single and you need to work on yourself and you need to figure out what more you can bring to the table other than your beauty in your box, because men are capable of communicating at a high level, 100%. The ones you date just don't like you. So,
I kept thinking to myself, what is men's obsession with wanting traditional women these days? And it finally clicked. Because traditionally, women had no autonomy. The worst guy in the world could come up to your dad and be like, here's a camel and 2 goats. And your dad would be like, thank you very much, here's my daughter. It didn't matter what she wanted. It didn't matter what she thought of the guy. It didn't matter how compatible they were. It didn't even matter how old she was. That's how little autonomy women had over their own selves and their own bodies. And then that woman...
I don't think that has anything to do with a woman being tradition. What you're describing there, maybe by traditional ways, people used to get married. And not a woman being tradition, because she's not said anything about a woman being tradition. What she's describing is the traditional ways people can get married.
It benefited men and only men to have traditional women. And nowadays, women have more autonomy, women have more choices, women have more awareness, and they're not as traditional. And that's pissing men off because they were
even before women had the autonomy and they had the choices to make. There were no prison. They were never in prison. They were not prisoners in their home. Actually, they liked to be taken care of.
Fitting from women when these traditions were set in place. On the other hand, we women want traditional men for simple, very valid reasons. Provide, protect the family. That's it. We're not asking y'all to go to war. We're not asking y'all to go hunt. We're not even asking y'all to build a house. We want you to provide for the family that you want and protect us and the kids that you want. And for some reason, it's not getting through your heads. You keep pointing the finger back at women and saying you want women to be more traditional, but that's never gonna happen again unless we take away women's rights. Is that what you want? If your answer is yes, you're the problem. If you're a man and you're like, well, I just want a woman to cook and clean and, you know, take care of the kids, there are a lot of women that want to do that. They want to be housewives. You could go find them. But you still have to respect them. You still have to know that they have autonomy over themselves and their bodies. You still have to know that they have opinions. They have their own thoughts, that they're allowed to speak. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying. They still have a right to say it, baby. But guess what? If you want a housewife, a quote-unquote traditional woman who's going to cook and clean and take care of the kids, you gotta be the provider and the protector.
So, from what she said so far, the only thing I can hear is that she has a problem with cooking and cleaning, because mostly when people talk about traditional woman, they are attributing it to a housewife. It can be a modern woman and she decides to be a housewife. Is she saying all the housewives are traditional women? They are modern women, but they decide to be housewives. They let their man do the work, bring in the finances, and then they take care of the other side of the business, which